Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that I've learned over the course of my life. Success is not luck, it's not a miracle, and it's not something that just happens to the chosen few. The secret to unstoppable success lies in your mindset, your discipline, your faith, and your willingness to keep moving even when the road feels impossible. I came from nothing, but I refuse to let nothing define me. I believe that where I started didn't have to determine where I finished. The truth is, every single one of you has the power to be unstoppable. Only if you're willing to believe in something greater than your circumstances. Success begins in your mindset. Believe before you achieve. Everything you will ever accomplish starts first as a thought in your mind. Before you build the life you dream of, before you hold the results in your hands, you must first see it within yourself. The mind is the foundation of all greatness. If you think small, you will live small. If you think big, you will live big. The problem for most people isn't that they lack talent or opportunity. It's that they doubt their own potential. They talk themselves out of their own destiny before it ever begins. The world doesn't stop you, your own thoughts do. You can have the skill, the drive, and even the opportunity. But if your mind doesn't believe you're capable, you'll never act like you are. The most powerful battle you'll ever fight is the one that happens inside your head. Every great achievement begins a single belief that says, I can do this. When you look at the most successful people in the world, you'll see they all share one common trait: unshakable belief. They believe in their dream long before anyone else does. They keep showing up even when the results aren't showing yet. That's what separates the unstoppable from the ordinary. Belief turns your effort into persistence, and persistence turns your vision into reality. You see, you can't outwork a weak mind. A weak mind will always find excuses, distractions, and fears to hold you back. But when your mind is strong, your circumstances lose power. No matter how many times you fail, you keep finding a reason to try again. No matter how many doors close, you start knocking on new ones. You stop waiting for motivation and start living with conviction. I learned early in life that you don't need the approval of others to believe in yourself. Too many people waste their time waiting for someone to tell them they're good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. But that's not how success works. Nobody will see your vision the way you do because it wasn't given to them, it was given to you. Your dream is your responsibility. You can't expect people to understand your journey when they haven't walked your path. Sometimes belief means walking alone. Sometimes it means standing in faith while the world doubts you. But that's what belief really is. It's holding on to the unseen and trusting that your hard work and faith will bring it into reality. Every thought you entertain shapes your future. If you wake up every morning telling yourself, I'm not ready, I'm not capable, I'm not lucky, and that's exactly what you'll manifest. But if you start telling yourself, I'm built for this, I'm ready, I'm going to make it, you'll begin to notice your actions aligning with your words. The universe responds to belief. Opportunities find the ones who expect them. Success flows toward confidence, not doubt. Your mindset is a magnet. It attracts the kind of life you think you deserve. So if you keep thinking of limitations, you'll see limits. But if you keep thinking of possibilities, you'll see doors opening that others can't even notice. Believing before achieve means acting like you've already succeeded in your heart, even when your reality doesn't show it yet. That's how you train your mind to lead and not follow. You can't wait for evidence to start believing. You have to create evidence through your effort. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the tree immediately, but you trust that it will grow because you planted it with purpose. That's how success works. You plant the seed of belief, water it with consistency, and protect it from negativity until it grows into something undeniable. If you want to be unstoppable, you have to master your mind before you master your craft. You must learn to silence the voice of doubt that says, "What if I fail?" and replace it with the voice that says, "What if I fly?" You have to understand that fear and belief both require you to imagine something that hasn't happened yet. So why not imagine victory instead of defeat? The greatest tragedy in life isn't failure, it's living below your potential because you didn't believe enough to try. When your mind is locked in on success, your body follows, your habits align, and your results begin to transform. So start training your thoughts today. Guard your mind from negativity like it's your most valuable possession, because it is. Feed it with faith, with gratitude, and with positive expectation. Every time you doubt yourself, remember how far you've already come. You've survived things you once thought you couldn't. That's proof of your strength. You're already capable of more than you realize. Success doesn't begin when you win. It begins when you believe. And when you believe with everything inside you, you'll start to see that nothing can stop you. Because the power that creates success doesn't come from the outside world. It comes from the mindset within you. Failure is not defeat, it's the foundation for growth. Most people are afraid to fail because they think failure means they're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. But the truth is, failure is the price you pay for progress. Every successful person has walked through failure before they reach the top. You can't get to success without stumbling, without falling, without being told no. The world doesn't hand you victory, it tests how badly you want it. When you fail, it's not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new chapter where you learn what doesn't work and discover what will. Every mistake teaches you something that success never could. Failure humbles you, shapes your character, and builds the resilience that separates the great from the average. I've failed so many times in my life. I've been broke, I've been rejected, I've been laughed at, but every single time I fell, I got up stronger. Failure taught me to trust the process even when I didn't understand it. It taught me that pain has a purpose. It's there to refine you, not define you. The problem is, too many people quit when they fail once or twice. They think a setback means they're not meant to have what they want. But that's not true. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. You've got to stop seeing failure as a wall and start seeing it as a doorway. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try, and those people never grow. Failure is evidence that you're in the game, that you're moving forward, that you're brave enough to chase something meaningful. You can't learn how to win without learning how to lose. Think about a baby learning to walk. They fall hundreds of times before they take their first step, but they don't give up because they don't see falling as failure. They see it as part of learning. Somewhere along the way, as adults, we forget that truth. We start believing that failure is shameful, that it means we're weak, but it's actually the opposite. Failure means you're daring enough to try something outside your comfort zone. It means you have the courage to risk being imperfect. Every fall makes you wiser. Every disappointment builds patience. Every rejection strengthens your resolve. The people who make it big in life aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who keep standing up no matter how many times they fall down. You see, failure has a hidden gift inside it. It reveals who you are and what you're made of. It strips away pride, ego, and excuses, leaving only truth. You can't pretend after you fail. You have to face yourself honestly. That's when you discover your real strength. Failure teaches you to think differently, to adapt, and to appreciate success more deeply when it comes. It's easy to celebrate the wins, but it's the losses that make you appreciate the climb. Without failure, success wouldn't feel meaningful. Without struggle, victory wouldn't feel sweet. You have to go through something to grow into someone. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that failure is temporary, but quitting is permanent. You can recover from failure, you can learn, you can rebuild. But once you quit, the story ends right there. When you fail, get up and analyze it. Ask yourself what you could do better, what lesson you can take, and how you can come back stronger. Every great success story is built on a mountain of failures. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan missed more shots than most players ever take. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. These people didn't let failure define them. They used it as fuel. What separates the successful from the unsuccessful isn't luck, talent, or background. It's how they respond to failure. When life knocks you down, you have two choices. You can either stay there and complain, or you can rise up, dust yourself off, and come back wiser. You've got to train your mind to see failure as feedback, not defeat. Every note you hear brings you one step closer to the yes. That changes everything. Every mistake sharpens your skills, toughens your spirit, and prepares you for greater opportunities ahead. Failure doesn't break you unless you let it. It's the forge that molds you into who you're meant to become. So the next time you fail, don't run from it. Embrace it. Stand tall and say, "This is teaching me something I need to learn." Failure is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. Without it, you would never develop the resilience, the wisdom, or the perspective to handle success when it finally arrives. You can't be unstoppable if you're afraid to fall. The secret is to fall forward, to let every failure push you closer to your purpose. Remember, defeat only happens when you stop trying. As long as you keep getting up, you're still in the fight, still growing, still becoming. And that's what makes success unstoppable. Discipline dreams into daily habits. Everyone dreams of success, but very few are willing to build the discipline required to make those dreams real. Discipline is the bridge between what you want and what you actually achieve. It's not about talent or luck, it's about consistency. You can have the biggest dreams in the world, but if you don't have the discipline to show up every day and do the work, those dreams will stay stuck in your imagination. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in, working on your goals when no one's watching, and staying focused when distractions are calling your name. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going. Motivation is a feeling, but discipline is a decision, one that you make every single day. Most people wait to feel inspired before taking action, but the truth is, inspiration comes after action. When you take the first step, even if it's small, you create momentum. That's what discipline does. It turns small steps into unstoppable progress. Discipline doesn't mean you'll never struggle or feel tired. It means you keep moving despite those feelings. The people who win in life aren't the ones who always feel motivated. They're the ones who show up whether they feel like it or not. They treat their goals like commitments, not options. You have to train your mind to understand that discipline isn't punishment. It's power. It's the thing that gives you control over your future. When you're disciplined, you're not the mercy of your moods or circumstances. You're guided by purpose. Think about the athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs who've achieved greatness. Every single one of them mastered the art of discipline. They practiced when no one else did. They sacrificed comfort for growth. They worked when others rested. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Discipline. Success doesn't come to the person who works hard once in a while. It comes to the one who works hard every day, no matter what. Discipline is built through repetition. You don't become great doing something once. You become great by doing it again and again until it becomes part of who you are. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Every disciplined act, no matter how small, builds a foundation that success can stand on. Discipline also means saying no. No to distractions, no to excuses, and no to short-term pleasure that takes you off track. The world is full of noise and temptation, but you have to be strong enough to stay focused on your goals. The undisciplined mind looks for comfort. The disciplined mind looks for progress. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you build inner strength. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. That's how you build self-respect, by proving to yourself that you can be trusted to follow through. Discipline isn't about controlling everything, it's about controlling yourself. When you can master your habits, your emotions, and your time, you can master your life. The real test of discipline comes when no one is watching. It's easy to work hard when the spotlight is on, but true discipline is doing your best when there's no reward, no praise, and no recognition. It's about integrity, doing the right thing because it aligns with your vision, not because someone's keeping score. Discipline is the silent power behind every success story. You won't always see results right away, but if you stay consistent, they'll come. It's like planting seeds. You water them, nurture them, and wait patiently. One day, all that discipline will pay off, and everyone else will call it luck, not realizing it was discipline all along. Discipline requires patience. In a world that wants instant results, you have to be willing to play the long game. You can't rush success. It's built one disciplined choice at a time. There will be days when you feel exhausted, frustrated, or unmotivated, but those are days that define your strength. Discipline means showing up even when it's hard, because you know the reward is worth it. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of ordinary days filled with disciplined effort. You can't skip the process. You can't cheat consistency. You can't fast forward through the grind. Discipline is what separates dreams from reality, talkers from doers, and wishers from winners. If you want to change your life, start by mastering your habits. Wake up earlier, read more, work harder, stay focused, and refuse to give up. The small disciplines you practice today will shape the person you become tomorrow. Every time you choose discipline, you choose growth. Every time you follow through on your goals, you build momentum. That's how dreams become real, not through luck, but through daily commitment. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-love because it's proof that you're willing to do what's best for your future, even when it's hard in the present. So no matter how tough it gets, stay consistent, stay focused, stay disciplined. Because once you master discipline, there's nothing in the world that can stop you from achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. Faith gives strength when life gets uncertain. There will be times in life when everything you've planned starts falling apart, when your path becomes unclear, and your efforts don't seem to pay off. In those moments, when logic can't explain what's happening and fear starts whispering that you're done, that's where faith steps in. Faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting that even in the dark, the light is still there. Faith means believing in something bigger than yourself, trusting that there's a purpose behind your struggle, and knowing where you are right now isn't where you'll always be. Without faith, you crumble under pressure, but with faith, you rise with purpose. Faith gives you the courage to keep moving when your circumstances say you shouldn't. There were times in my life when I didn't have the money, the opportunity, or even the strength to keep going, but I had faith. I believed that God didn't bring me this far to leave me. Faith kept me steady when everything else was shaking. You see, success doesn't just come from hard work. It comes from believing that your work has meaning. It's faith that gives your effort life. You might be working hard, But without faith, you'll burn out, you'll doubt yourself, and you'll quit too soon. Faith gives you that inner fire that says, even though I can't see how, I know it's going to happen. It allows you to walk by vision, not by sight. Faith is that quiet strength that reminds you that every delay has a reason, and every obstacle is shaping you for something greater. People often think faith means everything will go smoothly, but that's not true. Faith doesn't remove challenges. It gives you the power to face them. When the storms come, faith tells you to keep your eyes on the goal, not the waves. It gives you peace when nothing makes sense. Faith doesn't promise an easy life, but it promises a meaningful one. When you truly believe that something good is coming out of your pain, you stop giving up so easily. You stop complaining about what's not working and start trusting that it's all working for you. That's the strength that faith brings, a calm confidence in the middle of chaos. Every goal, every breakthrough starts with faith. Before you see results, you don't have to believe they're possible. Faith is what gives you the confidence to take the first step without seeing the whole staircase. Without faith, fear takes over. Fear makes you hesitate, faith makes you move. Fear sees problems, faith sees possibilities. Fear doubts your ability, faith reminds you that you're guided by something greater than your own strength. Faith doesn't ignore reality. It redefines it. It says, yes, this situation is hard, but it's not final. It's not pretending everything's perfect. It's choosing to believe that something better is on the way, even when you can't see it yet. There will always be moments that test your faith, times when you feel forgotten, rejected, or defeated. But those are the moments when your faith is being